As a librarian, I encounter people who love to read but get frustrated to find something fun and easy and relaxing. Anne's characters are fun, real, relatable. They get earned, believable happy endings. You will be satisfied and want to read more. Get more information and links in the show notes.
Miss Anne Trowbridge, welcome back.
Hello, good to see you.
Yeah. I know I'm excited because I feel like you're kind of like the books now, like I mean, you're like that next step on towards taking this Cruise to Love series. That first story, um, with the hidden identity romance with Max and Lily was completely adorable. It's
The
cool.
Distance Between Us, yeah.
Yeah.
That's book one.
And I know like marketing these days is so different from what it ever was, because I mean like just social media alone, like I was looking at the social media presences anyway, but I feel like you've really cornered clean romance books and romance bookworms. Romance bookworms was perfect because I went on there and I bought the hidden identity romance, and then I'm like or didn't buy it but actually got it for free. And I mean that's like so perfect because it's like I mean that's how people, I mean, like I fell in love with your books right away and then I wanted to read all the rest of them. So talk about kind of how you got into kind of getting on those in those networks and how that's helped get the word out.
Yeah, it's definitely been a steep learning curve. And I've gotten active in a lot of like writer communities on Facebook to try to learn a lot of this, because you're definitely not born understanding how any of this works. It's a lot to learn. And so I'd heard about these different kinds of promos that you can do where you can offer, your book for free. And then the hope is that people will fall in love with that book and then work their way through all your other books. Like your writing style, and then you've hooked a reader. That's the dream. But so I had tried that with some of my earlier books, but at the time when I did them, I didn't necessarily have a full series in place. So I gave a bunch of books away and I got some like reviews out of it. That's, it's good to get the reviews. And maybe a little bit of read through on Kindle Unlimited on some of my other books, but definitely not a whole lot of bang for your buck. So this time I actually had a series in place. So The Distance Between Us is book one in this this series, and that I offered on this promo this weekend, the Stuff Your e-reader promo. So this was the ebook was free this weekend, and I've seen a lot just in a couple of days since the promo launched. I've seen a lot of people buying or reading in Kindle Unlimited the book two. That's his brother Jake's story. So book two is live, and so people are buying it. And I've had the promo, the what do you call it? The pre-order is up, and this book isn't out yet, but book three, What Separates Us, that's Mitch's story, is coming, and I have a pre-order set up. So then I've got people pre-ordering it. So that's the dream, is that they download book one, they love this world you've created, and then you sell the other books in the series. And I've seen that follow through for the really the first time this has worked out like the way it's supposed to for me. So I'm so excited. But it takes a while when you're first starting out and you have just a couple of books or a couple of standalones. The promos don't really get you the same benefits. So this has just been really exciting. The Distance Between Us, I I did what they call a promo stack. So I had the Stuff Your e-reader promo, and then I also purchased to get into a couple of like newsletters. I don't know if you're familiar, like with Free Booksy and the Fussy Librarian. There's some newsletters that people can subscribe to, and then they can hear about when books are free. So I got my book in some of those. So I had sort of the impact of the Stuff Your e-reader plus these other newsletters. And I a ton of books got downloaded. And like I said, I'm starting to see purchases and reviews rolling in. Like it's been wonderful.
Yeah.
My Amazon does they do the rankings for free books and purchased books separately.
Yeah.
But for the free book, for the categories that I'm in, like I'd have to pull it up on my phone to get it exactly right, but like women's romance, fiction, new adult, whatever the categories are, I hit like 1 and 2 in a couple different categories for the free books. So it's been a great weekend for me. But that's how the promos are supposed to work. You're supposed to have a series in place, and I gave away a lot of books before I kind of understood that.
Yeah. So key to success is having a series and also getting ahead of the curve so that you give people plenty of notice so that they know, hey, you can get this book for free on this day.
Mm-hmm.
And
Yeah, and those newsletters, they have these, people that they just get like a weekly or daily, some of them, newsletter with different books that are free, and then you can subscribe to the different categories. So if you're a spicy romance reader or you're a mystery reader, whatever you like, you can just get those.
I love that.
Yeah.
I love how Romance Bookworms breaks it down like that. I mean,
Mm-hmm.
I never even knew there were that many romance categories.
Oh, there's so many. And my books are in like and there's different words for it, but I think Amazon calls it like sweet and clean romance, whatever. No, like closed door, basically. And that's been a bit of a challenge for marketing as well, because while there's a whole group of readers out there that's what they're looking for, they don't want the sex on the page, that's what they're looking for, but that group of people are a little harder to find online. The spicy romance, like book talk community, for example, is very strong, so it's really hard to kind of cut through that to try to find your closed door readers. So that's been a challenge as well. You're right. Social media it's tough.
It's so true because the people that read your books and like you were describing, we don't want the sex on the page. We just want the feel good romance stuff,
Mm-hmm.
And it's kind of that chick lit feel good. But yeah, those people are like, I don't know, I call them, they're kind of normal. It's like they're not like hanging out online, like getting into all this like spicy stuff.
Right. Yeah. There's for me anyway, they've been harder to find. There are Facebook communities of people looking for closed door, sweet, whatever you call them, romances. And so I've tried to join a lot of those and get my name out there. And it's a process. It's not a fast one.
Yeah. So the distance between us is the book we have. You're pushing that right now?
Yeah, I'm currently really pushing this series, and it's a trilogy. The book 1 is about Max. He had a very traumatic childhood. He has a very debilitating stutter, and his father was brutally nasty about it. mocking him and not letting him speak, and eventually Max just stopped talking. So that's the first story. Is he's shut down socially, but he's got a crush on his next door neighbor Lily, and his brother Jake sees this as maybe his chance to kind of finally break out of this social paralysis he's been in. So Jake kind of puppeteers away for Max to meet Lily and get to know her on his own terms. So that's the first story. The second story is Jake's story. So he gets Max, his life's kind of sorted, but if that's not his whole identity anymore, being his brother's helper and friend and father and everything else that he is for Max, then what is he? And he's got a secret he's been keeping from both Max and their brother Mitch. And should he tell them? That's Jake's story. In Mitch's story, that's book 3. That's the one I told you not out yet, but it's up for pre-order. Mitch had left when the family kind of exploded and Max shut down, took off to California, but he's got secrets of his own. There's a reason he's been hiding out in California. So, and they're each one's a romance, and you could read them as standalone, but the arc of the whole family is told across the trilogy. So that's the series that I'm actively promoting right now, but it's not the series that I'm writing right now. Right now, I have returned to the Curveball series. So Curveball books 1 and 2 are about Zach Hiller. He's a pitcher for the Yankees, and in a game he injures another player, and just loses it. Walks away from the game, and just sort of takes off. That's book 1, and it's about him meeting Emma and trying to put his life back together. Book 2 is about Tommy, the player that he injured. He went from being a rookie, having the best year of his life, to being injured and on the sidelines of his career. So that was book 2. I also put out a novella with Zach and Emma's wedding. It's the wedding novella. But that's pretty much what that series is right now. So book 3, I've got in the can. It's ready to go. I just have to get it into copy editing. It's called Throne. It's about Zach's big brother Zeke. Unbeknownst to Zach, when he threw away his career, he hurt Zeke's chances to return to baseball too. So that'll be coming out. It's called Throne because when all this happened, Zeke's life was thrown off course. That's book 3. And then I'm writing right now book 4 called Sliding, and it's kind of a villain's tale. It's Jim's story. And if you remember book 1, Emma was engaged when she meets Zach, and this story is about Jim, the fiance that she broke up with. Or I guess I'm giving away the story, but so book 4, that's what I'm writing right now, is about Jim, called Sliding. So so I kind of returned to the Curveball series, my baseball romance, and sort of happy to return to it. I love that world that I created there. So that's what I'm working on right now.
You're going for the home run.
Yeah, that's right.
Going
Slide
for
them down.
yeah.
I love that series, and I think I don't know, readers responded to it. There's a real market out there for sports romances, and there aren't as many sweet, clean sports romances. So there is a hole in the market, I think, and that's what I'm hoping to keep trying to fill.
Yeah. I'm impressed. I'm impressed. I mean, that's a lot of books.
Well, when Sliding and Throne are published, and also Mitch's story, the third in the trilogy, that'll be 10 books total. So that's kind of exciting, right?
That's great. I mean,
Yeah.
and I mean, talk about like the libraries, like, boy, getting those people in the book clubs. I mean, they're set.
Yeah.
Doing,
Yeah.
you know, we have our work cut out for us. So, that's what I think, having the series, key to success, having that series, getting ahead of the curve as far as getting the word out.
Marketing, finding my audience, there's a lot.
Yeah. Having the series, getting ahead of the curve, and just like having the numbers, like just having the material to get out there, like you said. Like, if you've got a ton of material, well, you've got the freebie, and then you get people hooked.
And then keep, yeah, exactly, get people hooked. So once Sliding and Thrown are out, then there'll be 4 books in that series. And
Yeah.
well, if you don't count the novella, the novella is like the ebook is like my free giveaway to try to build up my newsletter.
Yeah.
So the
All right. So where are we at now? So you're wrapping up the Cruise to Love series. All those Cruise brothers are about to
Yep.
about be around. They're about to be in their perfect relationships.
Yeah, and I'm turning back in my writing to my baseball romance series, and I was just had started to say that I have like a freebie novella giveaway in that series, and the way to find it is on my my website, I guess, um, which is AnneTrowbridgeBooks.com. But I have here's the paperback of the novella. It's called Curveball, a wedding novella, and it's just little, but it's the ebook is a free giveaway to entice people to sign up for my newsletter. So if you go and you click the links for this for the novella, then you can join my newsletter and hear more about my my new releases. This novella fits into the Curveball series as book 1.5, so it kind of fits in the world between books 1 and 2. But so there's book 2, and it kind of launches you're best served by reading the novella before reading books 3 and 4. It kind of lays foundation for both Zeke, the brother's story in book 3, and Jim's story in book 4, the one that I'm currently writing. So yeah, the novella is plays a pretty pivotal role in setting those books up. So hopefully readers can either, like, it is available in paperback on Amazon, but
Okay.
but yeah, you can just download the ebook as well.
Yeah. So the Curveball novella, that was actually something I think that you had mentioned in the first interview. You were offering that to get people into the Curveball series. To do is when they go to your website, when they click on the Curveball, kind of click
Yeah,
it.
the link for the novella, it'll take them to the download page for where you can download the ebook. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, and then they can sign up for the newsletter, or they sign up for the newsletter first
To
and
get it's kind of the exchange.
yeah. So right now, the one that's out right now is the
My
Jake
new release is book 2, Jake's book.
Friendship Divide.
Yeah, so that's book 2 in that series. But I think the only thing I haven't mentioned are, when we had the last interview, I was talking about how my book, The Honeymoon, was about to come out. So it did come out, and Bridesmaid came out, and I talked a lot about those books in that first interview and how they were kind of the first two books I wrote. So that's how I kind of get up to the number 10, because I've got a couple of books who they're really standalones, but I sort of put them in a series together because they're both about stories about women who fall in love on fabulous trips. That's the tie, but they're not actually related books. But those are available as well.
All right, final question is kind of a fun one. So what this is kind of a what if, I guess. Anne Trowbridge in perpetuity. What do you want to be your Pride and Prejudice book? If
Oh my goodness.
the one that people think of Anne Trowbridge and that's it. Jane Austen, Pride and Prejudice, Charlotte Bronte, whatever. Anne
Right.
Trowbridge.
It's funny because I think the answer has changed over
Oh yeah.
over the years. Right now, I'm really proud of the Cruise into Love series, the Three Brothers. So probably I would say that series. I had the initial idea for Max's story, and then as I was writing it, it just sort of became apparent to me that Jake had to have his story told. But the third brother, Mitch's story, that book, like, I have never had an experience like this. I wrote that book inside of 2 to 3 weeks tops. It just, I would sleep and the words were writing themselves in my head. I would have to get up and just go write. It fell out of me. It was crazy. Like, I don't know. There's something about that series that just
I can't wait. I'm so curious to know what's going on with Mitch.
yeah. Oh my gosh, it just bubbled out of me. I don't know. I don't know how to say it, but his love interest, they have, it's kind of like an enemies to lovers thing. They have a lot of like snappy banter, and I think that's what it was. Like, I really like writing like sort of that witty dialogue back and forth, that just, I don't know, that book spoke to me. So I would have to say that series, but there was something about that book. Oh my gosh, it just, like I said, it absolutely fell out of me.
Sounds like 10 Things I Hate About You, which I love that movie. So
Yeah, lot of that kind of energy.
yeah, that's okay. All right, well, I will release you now.
Thank you.
This very interesting interview. So
yes, thank you so much.
absolutely, yeah. Thank you. All right, have a good night.
Bye. You too.